I didn't realize how political this episode was going to be. It was fantastic. I really
Yeah,
love the writing. I
yeah,
love it. Um,
I agree.
we can start off at the beginning for like Maylee's being paraded around her head, which what are you doing, Sir Crispy?
Yeah, like not only because like how do I say this without muttering? To show that your dragons can die is sending a message to the realm.
Yeah.
And was it King Jaehaerys that had an issue with that? Which king was it? Anyway, there was a what was the guy's name? There was another. He's a priest basically who like caused an uproar with the dragon pits. Is that no? I don't. You know what? I'm not going to talk about it because I don't recall. I think this is before House of Dragons. But anyway, you never show that you guys can bleed. That's what it comes down to. And
100%. Yes, they
you
were
shown.
shocked that there was a head in the little boy that was standing next to, I forget what this character's name is. He was kind of struggling with leaving or staying. Um he was actually in that
Oh
show The
yeah,
Warrior. Fantastic series. I love The
that dude looks
Warrior.
dope. Wow, it looks like super. He looks like a Witcher. Is what he looks like.
Yes. Yes, he does look like a Witcher, that guy. The boy that was standing next to him, he was like, it's just meat.
Yeah.
Oh no, like the downfall
Yeah.
of
And they do
greatness.
a really good job of just showing like how the realm is struggling. Like
Yes.
the throwing the rotten fruit and nobody being allowed to leave and people wanting to leave to be safe and have, you know, anyway. The writers are doing everything they can to say, what can we do to make you hate Daemon Targaryen? I know. We'll make him fuck his mother. That's what we'll do.
I'm so tired of Scooby Doo. I am so tired of this. I'm done. I want this to be over with. I know there's like some type of deep emotional spiritual thing that he's going through, and I did say I was curious and I wanted to see what would happen, but it's infuriating because he saw his brother incapable of making decisions
Yeah.
and drinking something, and something that he was dependent on, and he's not even dependent on us. He just keeps putting this stuff to his lips and it's almost unconscious now. He's just
Yeah.
doing it, and it's
Got
just
a hold
making
of
me
him
angry.
somehow. Yeah. I don't understand how she has a hold on him, Alice Rivers. Like the stuff she says to him, I'm like, why would you let her say that to you? Just everything,
Every
everything she says and does. It's like you are not important. You shouldn't be here. You don't need to be here. No one would protest if I took your head off, but yet here you are irking me. This man who should be king.
right.
Uh,
It's just
you're a
like
bastard peasant witch. Like,
she's just kind of there for me,
yeah,
just doing her thing and brewing her potions. Like I don't understand, and I just don't understand why Damon. When his hand was open and cut, right?
yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, let me see it. Let me look at it." It reminded me instantly of Khal Drogo when he had that little scratch,
Oh,
and that
yeah,
witch was like, "Let me see it." I'm like, "Stop letting her put stuff in you. Like she's a
yeah.
witch,
And you
you
going
know?"
through all of it, yeah. And the thing too for me is, like, and for you too, I imagine, because you've read some smut and you know some about her. She's powerful,
Yes.
but we don't see that here.
Yeah.
So for us to be where we're at, like, I need more from them to say to show she has a spell on Damien. Obviously, because like right now, it can be interpreted: is it her? Is it Harrenhal? What is it? It's her. And I need them to lean more into that to say, okay, she's fucking with his mind, and he feels it, and that's why he's permitting her to be. I don't know. It's weird.
It's like
Him
he's
fucking his
almost
mom
like
was weird.
sired to her.
Yeah,
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 I know exactly what you mean. It's like this weird, like,
mhm,
that something's off and you keep allowing it. I totally get what
yeah.
you're saying. Uh,
Hmm.
it's frustrating because Damon was one of my favorite characters in the first series because of how resilient he was and how smart
Yeah,
he was and how independent he was.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna go get it. That was Damon.
yeah, like,
Yeah,
and now he just has this woman messing with his head. He couldn't even think when they were telling him. His confusion messes with the story for me because I keep
it
looking at
does.
him like, "Are you good? What's about to happen?" I'm trying
Yeah.
to listen to River Run people come in and tell him what's going on, and he can't think. And I'm just like this, like, what's about to
What is
happen?
happening? Yeah. But because like you said, with season one, we get a good understanding of who Damien is. Now, don't get me wrong, we're getting a better understanding now. Not even a better understanding, yeah, a better understanding, but we know he's power hungry.
Yeah,
But we never knew like the extents he would take to get there and how sincere he is to Rhaenyra. And now we're seeing that play out like, okay, yeah, you're exactly who we believed you to be. Even though some of us maybe didn't want you to be that. I want you to be a loving husband.
I want
I knew you would be 100%. Like y'all have babies, like, okay, oh, look at y'all. Uh,
go.
but
Yes,
no, this all terrible. He's throwing a like we're at war and you are throwing a fit at Harrenhal. You're not even like you're readying this castle for a great host. Get the host. Like what are we doing? Then you're like sending these river lords out to do despicable things and you don't think that it's
pillaging
gonna come
and
back to
raping.
you.
Yeah, and they
And like
have
you're so
huge flags.
yeah. You're like, you don't say be discreet. You're like, you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he said we got the green light, do whatever we want to. But what if people say this? We'll put up Targaryen flag, it'll be great. Like, no.
That was
Leave
not the
that
plan.
quit playing coy. Like you should have just killed him or not. But
It's
like to
not what
go
I
out there
said.
too, to go out there and be like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't bend the knee. He's like, okay, kill us then. Okay, y'all can leave.
What the hell?
You're
What
on
was
Dragon
what
back.
was that?
You're on Dragon back. Like, what are you doing?
You ever see the
Oh my
meme
god.
where it's like this figure with a stick and it's poking Damon? It's like, come on, do some war crimes. Like that's how I feel. Like I'm so tired of Damon not doing
Mm,
anything. And it's interesting though. I will say that he's learning that he can't just do what Damon does
yeah,
outside. Telling
yeah,
somebody, "Oh, like just go like push some people around." And now these people, I will never bend the knee to you. You have no idea what they've done. How dare you come here and do those things to our people, these women and these children that have nothing to do with this war.
yeah,
So it's like it shows you what he is incapable of,
yeah.
which
And
is
why he wouldn't be a good king?
huh?
So why he wouldn't be a good king?
Right.
And I wonder,
Absolutely.
you got to wonder
Absolutely.
if he feels that. You know he does, but like, is he going to listen to that inner voice? It's like I'm incompetent. Maybe I should lean on my
No.
knees some. Because he didn't know. He's got no small counsel, and the people he has around him are absolute lackwits. He's not even the Lord of Harrenhal. He's just the Castellan. He's just there.
Uh,
Um,
somebody's
Jesus, and,
uncle.
right? Like I'm here. He took all our gold. You ain't got no money though. Maybe if you talk to the queen, no. Okay. That's all I can do.
He was like, "How much you got?" He's like, "Enough to survive."
Right. That's it. That's all. That's all you left me with. And that was strategically done. Like, come on, help me out. No, nothing. All right, you're gonna go make people bend the knee under duress. Great.
I
This is
just,
gonna turn well.
it just doesn't seem like he is putting his best foot forward. I'm sick of Zombie Island. I want to continue forward with something else. Like I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
It
over it.
was
And like,
nice to see Lucerys get out. I'm sorry.
what did you say?
I said it was nice to see Lucerys get out and try and, you know, actually get some people, on
Yeah,
their side. He got the phrase, which I love they spoke about that because if you think back to Game of Thrones, when Rob Stark had to march north, he had to go through the phrase.
facts.
And that's the same thing we have with these Northerners and needing to get through the Riverlands. So very familiar territory that we're
Yep.
in,
Don't
and
cross
it was
them.
nice to yeah. And like, why did no one think of that before? Why is the one P player that's like, I can't do shit, but I'm told, like, no, I'm gonna go do this. Like, nobody thought to try and get the phrase to bend the knee.
Well,
Like
Lucerys
nobody.
is thinking outside and around the box. He's
Yeah.
everybody else is thinking through. And when he had suggested, "Hey, we have cousins, mom,"
Yes, yes.
she's like, "We do have cousins."
We do, don't we?
She's like, "Let me,
Probably.
dust this off, but we gonna go through this family tree."
Yeah, we could
Which,
probably these books right here, huh? We ain't gotta go no place. That's crazy. You want to
damn.
pull up a seat?
But yeah, like I feel, and I kind of got spoiled because it is a historical type of event, a TV show. So everything already happened. So I
Yeah.
kind of got spoiled a little bit, but I am liking the man that he's growing into, that he's forcing himself to grow into rather than
Mhm.
having his mother to tell him to do something because he's sick of waiting for her. They're
Yeah.
all sick of waiting for her. And I get that she's peaceful and she can't do anything. She's the queen. She's very valuable. But like at the end of the day, if I was her, I'd be very angry too that I couldn't do anything. I mean, in comparison to Rhaenyra versus Daenerys, Daenerys was out there getting hers. She was
Yeah.
claiming hers. So it's
Yeah.
just
But I
it's
mean, it's a
very
very different
interesting.
queen, very different time. Like Daenerys, um, there was nobody once her dragons were fully grown. They're like there's very few that can stop her, and that was kind of her downfall too. Is like she kind of got comfortable with not being checked on Dragonback.
For
But then
sure.
Scorpion came out, and she was like, "Oh," and then White Walkers came out, she's like, "Oh, yeah." You mean I got to be careful?
Oh damn.
Because like one thing too that I noticed, like she didn't have nobody construct like the first person to ride a horse, right? It's like, okay, I rode this horse, but man, what if I can sit in something that makes it a little easier? I know, a saddle. She got on that dragon back was like, no, I'm good like this. But everybody else like has saddles that they strap in on. Daenerys
Yes.
like, no, I'm gonna grab. What did she tell John? He's like, what do I hold on to? She's like, whatever you can. Bitch, what?
So I was like,
Hold
wait
the
a
fuck up.
minute.
Wait a damn minute.
Yes. She was, man, like, I think, I don't remember who asked me. Was it you? It was somebody that asked me, like, was I interested in seeing the John Sills spinoff? And I said,
Yeah,
no, he killed my
yeah.
queen. I have no interest in that man. Sorry. Whole nother, whole nother
No,
series.
no, that's what we're here for. I get it.
Whole nother
Um,
series. Okay, I have my notes. And do you want to talk about Corliss or do we want to talk about Aemond?
let's talk about Carlos Valerian because
Okay.
I feel like we don't have a lot to uncover with him as opposed to Damien. Not Damien, Eamon. Um, I feel for him.
Yes.
My heart is heavy for him. And I know I have a feeling of what is going to come next from him because he now needs obviously an heir to Driftmark. And his granddaughter turned him down.
Get somebody
And
else to do it.
his wife's last instructions to him were to raise up the man that saved him.
Yes.
So with raising him up, that would make him it's gonna give him an opportunity to have that family again because you can tell he's very much disconnected from his grandchildren.
He's very
Oh,
lonely.
yes. And his ambitions have really brought him there.
Yeah.
And his I love that moment between him and was it Bela?
Yes.
Um, when she's like, I would have loved to seen this place like in its heyday after your 9 voyages, you. And you can tell he's very much like, fuck that guy. I want to be, I want to be the guy that I wasn't. I want to be a husband. I want to be a father.
He wants
But
to
they're
be a
gonna,
grandpa. He doesn't want
yeah,
to. And he, when she handed him the hand, he was basically like, I don't want this. And she was like,
yeah,
no, you are that guy.
yeah,
Take it. And I think that it was a really cool conversation between the two of them. She had to build her grandfather back up as the man she knew he was. And
yeah.
he was like, did like taken aback that she
So
knew,
wild. Yeah,
yes, knew
yeah,
all of this about how, like, what of a great man he was and what he did to build their house. And so much so that he wanted to offer her, she's like, uh-uh. No, no,
Nope.
no.
And that too, in and of itself, I think really spoke to, how to put this. He was hurting and struggling with the fact that his wife was sent off to war to die. And she's like, she wasn't sent anywhere. She went where she wanted to go. She died the way she wanted to die. And we all knew this from watching her go back time and time again
Three,
into the
four,
front.
five
Even the,
times.
yeah, we're like, no, that's it. You did, girl. Go.
Go
So we
up.
knew that's what she wanted. And Bayla knew without being there, that's what she wanted. And that's what my mother wanted. And that's what I want. We are blood and fire. You
Yes.
need salt and sea.
Yes.
And he's like, damn, you're right.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. I was thinking about this too with the Allison scene. We'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
All of the women are so wise because they are forced to be. They see
Yeah.
all this stuff happening around them and they're
Yeah.
absorbing and observing everything. That's like I told you, I love Rhaenys because she would just sit there and acknowledge everything that was happening, but would not take action unless it was absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
Um, but they are all super duper wise. Bayla is, I didn't expect that speech from her at all. I
No,
want to see
it was
more
well
of,
written.
sorry?
It was well written. I'm sorry.
It was good. No, 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 you're okay. I want to see more of her sister,
Yeah.
Raina.
Yes. And she is because she's very, how do I put this? Like she almost comes off as like entitled, but she's also at the same time, she seems wise enough. She just
Bayla
wants to be
or
taken
Raina?
seriously. Raina.
Ah,
Like she wants to be taken seriously, but she doesn't understand that she is being taken seriously and this is her task. And
it's
I
huge.
really it is. I don't like the way she spoke to the Lady of the Veil. I was like, damn, you cheated her and you gonna live with her and you gonna talk down to her like that? Like
She's like,
you
you
need
got your
some
dragon. She's like, no, you know damn well.
right.
I
You
want
could
a
have led
big
with they'll
dragon.
grow. You could have led with they'll grow. But I, bitch, look, we ain't got time from the girl. Look, I'm looking up at the skies every day.
I will throw you through the moon door. Like,
Right.
don't play with me.
'Cause, I
Oh
mean,
my goodness.
to be fair, honestly, and that's one thing that I thought of in an episode is like you are just as much of a guest as you are a captive, because if Damon or not Damon, if Aegon flies there, or he can't now, but if
Amen.
Aemon flies there, he's stuck. If Aemon flies there and says, "Hey, I want her head," hey, here she goes, girl, man, we just keep more for you. That's it. That's all. She
I don't
got
even
three
know
little
why she was
dragons,
here.
but
I didn't even invite her. I
right,
don't.
right. Look, I was holding it for you.
Hello.
You didn't get my
Um,
razor. So many ravens get shot down from up here. This is crazy. How I was wondering what's taking you so long, my king.
they
Get
do got
ready,
baby dragons. They probably ate them. I don't know.
right?
I'm just glad you're here.
Are you hungry? Did you want some salt and bread? No.
Speaking of Amen, wow. I don't even know where to start. There are so many things with that whole debacle with who's going to be taking Aegon's place. That was embarrassing for me.
And he knew it was. It was embarrassing for Allison. He knew from the moment that Aegon flew in that there was an opportunity for him. And I don't know how far he planned to take it when he walked up to him. When he was on the ground. I don't know if he was just confirming that motherfucker was fucked up, and if not, fucking him up. And I get it because Aegon's the motherfucker. But excuse my French. Um, but he's so they picked the perfect actor for him. First off, because he's got that smirk the whole time. That smirk that's I'm untouchable.
This.
Yes, that what you gonna do smirk. I wish you would smirk. Like he knows what game he's playing, and
Do
it does
you?
not matter if it's Rhaenyra or Aegon. He knows what game he's playing. He's like saying,
Dangerous.
yes.
So I have a question speaking on how dangerous he is.
Mhm.
Everyone else at the table was saying, it's time to show strength. Thank you so much for being there in a time of peace, but we don't need you right now, Allison.
Yeah.
When it got to Sir Christian Cole,
Yeah.
it was almost as if he was afraid to even back her up. He hasn't
Mhm.
even said what actually happened,
Nope.
and he couldn't even look up.
Nope.
And it was
Hmm.
he was just like, what was his words? It's what's best, or he's the next in line. So those are
Yeah, yeah. It
that's
is
the
what it is.
way,
What he said.
something like that, right? So like,
Yeah.
but it was he couldn't look her in the eye, and at first I was like, oh, he can't look her in the eye because he knows that she should, be his number one because you in my sheets and stuff like that. But I truly feel like Sir Christian Cole is terrified of Aemon. I really do. I don't think that he could have gone against him if he wanted to.
I feel like a foot. Kristen Cole is more than a match for Aemon Targaryen. Dragonback, obviously not, but it's more than just his strength and arms. It's his title. He's a Prince of the Blood. He's next in line, and it's the mess they made together. Um,
Mm,
him refusing to tell that bit of what he witnessed from the blast of fire to him coming on him and stealing his brother's dagger with sword drawn. He withheld that. So I think he's kind of at the point where he's like, okay, well now, where do I finally tell the truth? Can I? Is it too late? I think he feels like it's too late
too late.
to tell the truth. One, and then the other part of it being, if he does, then what does that mean for the realm? Um, to say, okay, well, here's what really happened. Your king is fucked. He will probably never walk again, and the prince did it, and he's in custody now. But he has no heir, and he probably can't make no more kids. So I guess by rights, your rightful king is either um, Aemon's wife, I forget her name, or Rhaenyra, the person we've been fighting this whole time. So
Aemon's
they're good.
wife or Aegon's wife?
Aegon's wife. Thank you. I'm sorry,
Helena.
Helena. Thank you. So I think it's if if he tells if he outs Aegon, not Aegon, if he outs um Jesus Christ, it is Aegon. No, Aemon.
Aemon.
Aemon. Jesus Christ.
It's
These
okay.
He's there. If he outs Aemon, then everything they have falls apart. It
That's
would
true.
have to be Rhaenyra. And I think that look that he had on his face was a combination of realizing that and also the fear of who it is that he is backing. To say, I don't trust this kid. I don't like this kid anymore. I don't know what he'll do next.
And that's
Um,
the thing about Sir Christian is he's very judgmental of everyone else but himself
yes, he excuses himself for some reason. I don't know why.
all the time.
Um, because the thing too is he knew the plan. The plan was for when they blew the horns for him to come through on Dragonback and get to work, and for Aegon then to come through, and Aemon's still doing whatever whatever God knows what he knows. He's like, this could have been over in a heartbeat if y'all both
Mhm.
came through on the same side. You delayed for a reason. You delayed because you wanted him to get fucked up, and then you came through and finished off the job. Or
100.
almost. So he's terrified in his mind. He has no clue what's going to happen next because Aemon is unpredictable.
He is.
Uh, Even when you have that plan mapped out, he's still doing his own thing. So,
He's a quick
and
thinker.
yes,
He saw
and
opportunity.
he's skilled. He's a quick thinker, but he's a damaged boy. Is what he is.
He needs a
We've learned
hug. You right.
he does. He needs somebody to come to the. Hey, you know what? You want some coochie?
He needs like a real, and that's why once again that Rivers person is so powerful. Like
Hmm.
all of them, they just need to have a good family reunion and hug it
Yep,
out. Like
that's
Otto,
it.
could you imagine when they were rolling Melise's head through King's Landing? I know Otto probably had a heart attack.
These mother. I know.
That's the first thing
Damn.
I was thinking because it was like centuries of work, centuries of
Somebody,
belief,
yeah.
and they
Somebody
took
in the
it
corner talking about,
away.
hey, Otto, calm down, calm down. No, all these years for Jaharis and then Viserys and now this mother.
No, I just
But
and it shows you how foreign Cole really was. Sir Christian Cole was because he's like, oh, we won, but here you are
did
it,
you?
bringing this beautiful, majestic beast head through. Like I, like just me on the outside of this show, of this universe, seeing you bring this head in is heartbreaking to me. I couldn't imagine living in King's Landing. Let's say I'm a 60-year-old woman and I saw Melee's going back and forth, the queen that never was going back and forth. Like
And
that's
all of
my
that,
girl.
that dragon is older than any of them.
Yes.
So,
She
and
had
I don't
what,
know.
3 riders?
Yeah.
And
So to see this dragon, to know this dragon, this
yes.
is and say, oh, okay, this is what we're doing now. These like I can't imagine this the time frame or living amongst dragons, but I imagine you get attached, especially when you have dragons that are on Dragonstone and dragons that are in King's Landing. Some dragons that are in different parts of the realm because of who their dragon riders are. But to say that's our dragon, there was actually a character in the book that ended up living in Castle Rock for a time while she was in hiding. And the I forget what they call the people of Castle Rock, but they started referring to the dragon as their dragon until she got kicked out, kind of deal. But there's
Mm-hmm.
some pride that comes in that,
Mm-hmm.
and so to see a dragon that I'm assuming gave some of you pride, and as long as they weren't, as long as they were well fed and well tempered,
And safety, right?
yeah, yeah, um, that's got to be an odd feeling. And then like Rhaenyra said, they inherited 80 years of peace from Jaehaerys. So to have the realm going through this, not getting food, having people hung in the streets, all this is so foreign. Um, but they're doing a really good job of the women. Going back to what you said earlier, um, from Queen Allison and her trying to speak up to keep the peace, and then Rhaenyra and Lady Mazaria, I think her name is.
Yeah, that
Uh,
sounds right.
yeah, just going over just their conversations. It reminds me a lot of Jaehaerys's wife, Queen Jaehaera. Um, she was one of the most active queens um, of like the Targaryen line, where she there was wow, that was a really big thunder crack. Anyway, like my whole house just shook.
Oh my god.
uh, um, and now the rain just came slapping down. Anyway, sorry. Um, She she was the one that we talked earlier where she visited the wall and then her dragon wouldn't go beyond the wall.
Right, yes.
Yeah. She learned about some of the different laws that were held in different areas of the Seven Kingdoms, like yes, not guess right. The first night, which is the right that the lord of the land has the right to sleep with a bride on their wedding night.
Yes, you told me that. Yes, yes, yes.
And she got rid of that. And
Good.
and like the way she went about it, she sat with her king and the small council and was like, "Okay, well, you guys are great lords. How would you feel, Jaehaerys? How would you feel if somebody came and had sex with me before you got a chance?" He's like, "I killed that man," and she's like, "And you expect your bannerman not to?" So it's given very much the just showing more like in Game of Thrones. I have to keep circling back to that. We got to see Cersei be the woman of power, and then Sansa after her, which whatever. But I'm liking what they're doing, displaying these women, um, trying to, and I only say this in a manner of because we know how the Seven Kingdoms are when it comes to women ruling, showing the sense that these women have, and their attempts to keep things from getting worse. Outside of Allison, it's a little too late for you. You had your time. Maybe I don't know.
Allison, I'm sorry, she gives me a headache because that's a story, babe.
Yeah,
It's too late now. She just got up and
it,
I'm
it
like,
is. It's
what? Babe, that was a story, bro. Like, we
and
had
she's
like
like,
a
nope, we're good.
moment
Yeah,
and she could have like came to her or either any one of her boys and be like, I need you to take me to your sister right now. And I need to talk to her about what your father said. Because obviously, Rhaenyra was always trying to have conversations throughout everything that had happened. Right after she gave birth to Joffrey, I believe, she stood at the table and was like, I know things are like tough between us, but like, can we merge our houses or whatever? And she was like,
yeah,
I don't want my kids to marry those plain featured bitches. Like, just girl, she's been trying to like, for a really long time.
yeah.
So, I guess my point is I feel like Rhaenyra was someone that she could go talk to, and she chose not to. She chose to have that man lay there for 7 days
Hmm.
and usurp the crown,
Yeah,
which was crazy. And back to Allison, I know she probably felt so dirty when neither one of the men that she was doing sexual favors for
yeah.
had her back.
She looked. She's like, Lawrence, you. She slipped. You ain't see it, but she slipped the foot out.
How about
When she
now?
was you see the toes wiggling. He was like, about that moon tea.
Dude, like it was just such a
Yeah,
soul crushing, like gross feeling. I don't know how
yeah.
else to explain it other than that. Like I felt like she probably most likely felt used.
Oh, 100%. And like I felt for her, and then I was like, that's what the fuck you get at the same time. Because
And then when she went downstairs, like, don't come in my bed anymore. Don't.
for real.
And then he was like, Allison. And she was like, I didn't
That's
say
how you
anything.
get
Use
my
my
name.
first name, my government. Don't.
Bitch.
And then,
Okay.
okay. Sorry. I know you
Mm,
gotta go and I don't want to keep you from your
no,
family.
you're good.
I don't, you probably did see it. You're very observant. But one thing that kind of gave me goosebumps is when Aemond was standing in front of the throne and he was just staring at it. And Helena was right behind him and like the camera panned. At first I thought it was one of those weird dreams because
Yeah,
of how quickly she was behind him and she said, "Was it worth it? Like
yeah.
was it worth the payment?" And I was like, she knew the whole time what was going to
She
happen to him.
absolutely did. She's a dreamer. She's
Yeah,
so the first season when I forget who was talking to him about him eventually getting a dragon, and she was like,
the
"It's
mom.
gonna cost you one eye."
It's the mom. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Allison,
you're
because
like,
he went into the dragon pits and came back all dirty. Yeah,
yeah, and she's like, "It's gonna cost you one eye," and anybody that doesn't know is like, "What?" But even if you do know, like, oh, she knows something, and then you see him lose his eye, and then he says later on, well, it was
I
worth it.
gained a dragon. Yep.
So for her to say this time around, was this worth it? You take these big gambles that at the risk of everyone. And, so again, is it worth it? Because it wasn't just an eye you lost, and it wasn't just a dragon you gained. You separated your house. These are your cousins, or wait, they're nephews, your
Nephews.
nephew.
Yeah.
And their lineage aside, they're still your nephews by blood. They're I get the whole line of succession being an issue as to why people don't like each other. I've never been in a family with a hierarchy before, so I can get not liking the person who maybe be ahead of you in line. The phrase are very much like that, where they couldn't stand each other because this person was, closer to being the next Lord Frey
There was
than
like
them.
19 of them.
Yeah, but when Walter Frey was like, "I'm still in this motherfucker, making more, you dirty bastards." I might make another one tonight. He has so many bastards and grand
He's-
bastards.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh man. Um, well, I'll let you go, homie. It was always fun.
yeah,
Um,
of course.
I can talk about this shit all day long. You know me.
100%. And we will.
But one day,
And we will.
I'm looking forward to whatever's next. Just as far as the previews go, it looks like Eamon was torturing Aegon a little bit. Like he squeezed his chest, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" Like, oh my god! So I'm looking forward to this
Yeah.
this dark turn of his. So
Now, I don't know. Have they confirmed another season? I feel like this is it.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I would love for there to be another season, but they said that they're gonna be focusing on the Conqueror.
Yeah. Because the way it's speeding up, um, I think we're done after this. So
Really?
we're gonna see. I think so. So it's the way they're speeding up, as far as like where everybody is and the deaths that have occurred so far. They could essentially wrap it up in like I think like 3 or 4 episodes
But we
if
got
they
the big
wanted to.
dragon out of the cave, and
You know
I,
what? You know what? No, I'm lying because now we got to get. Never mind. We'll
okay.
see. We'll see.
I was like, I want to see the giant baby. I want to see him do work. All
Wait, which
right,
dragon baby? Which one are you talking about?
the whichever one was climbing out of the damn ground on
Oh,
the
I didn't see
preview.
the. I'm hoping to see dragons that I know are going to be a problem, but I have not seen their riders yet. So for that reason, I feel like they're going to skip some of the dragons we get in the books.
Ooh,
Because there's one called Sheep Stealer, and he's big enough to take on
I like that.
um what's his name?
I like that.
The Sheep Stealer, the Cannibal. What's the other ones? They're just riderless dragons that have been
Yeah,
riderless for a long time, but they're big boys.
I think those are the two because that's she said we have two. Well, of course, Viserys, the thinker, was like, we have two big ones the size of what's her name?
But,
Vagar
yeah,
downstairs right now. And that's when they
yep.
started talking about everything. And the one I saw in the preview, the face shape was really close to the one Damon was singing to at the end of season one. He
Okay.
went in there and was singing that pretty song, so to her
Yeah.
and Valerian.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was an interesting scene. I think about. I got to go back and watch season one. Um, but yeah, I think we're gonna get Dragon Riders the next episode. Obviously, it was alluded to in the trailer for the next episode and that last conversation between the prince and queen
Yes.
uh, that they need Dragon Riders. I'm very curious how they go about it. But we'll see.
Cool beans, yo. I'm gonna end that here. Thank you
All right.
so much for giving me all of your Game of Thrones wisdom. Was that appropriate? Game of Thrones or Songs of Ice and Fire? Like there's
I'm so used to saying Game of Thrones that like even like it's Game of Thrones times like it's House of the Dragon brand, but it's still Game of Thrones.
you know they make fun of black people because we keep calling it Game of Thrones. It's not
Not
our
right.
fault. All right, homie, I'm gonna end it now. Thank you so much.
I will see you.
All righty.